Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tay Tiz, and I'm here with a video to talk about what's going on currently in the gaming news scene and some information that we recently got regarding PlayStation and Xbox. So the first topic I wanted to start off talking about is something I didn't get to talk about last week. Was we recently got confirmed that Halo Infinite is going to be free to play, and that it will be 120 FPS on the Series X, and that for some reason the information that we got at the Xbox Game Showcase wasn't enough, and that we'll of course be getting more details later about the game. So my idea when it comes to free-to-play games is free-to-play is kind of a iffy topic, right? You have some free-to-play games that work within their lane of gameplay to microtransaction rate, where the microtransactions don't inadvertently affect how you play the game or your experience with the game, but more so the microtransactions may enhance it by giving you skins, or it may add a different effect to something, like a gun or something like that. But for a game like Halo that's been here since Xbox, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, for Halo on its 6th release to decide to go free to play for its multiplayer edition is definitely a big ass change, considering all the money that they have put behind it. You can guarantee that this game is going to be microtransaction down to the fucking floor. Like, there's going to be all types of, I know they're going to have all types of gun skins, all types of armor skins, and different type of armor designs. I promise any Halo 3 vets, I promise you they're gonna bring back the samurai skin, and that junk is gonna be like $5 to $10, man. I know it. But I mean, it's not really a bad thing. It gives more people access to just hop in and play Halo at any moment, whether it's going to be PC or Xbox, where it's free to play now. So there's no excuse on why you can't play Halo this upcoming generation. But it is just, man, you don't know what to expect when a game like this goes free to play, because usually it's not going to be what we usually know free to play games work or operate as. But the positive is the 120 FPS that the Series X is going to be able to experience it at. Now that's going to put its frame rate in the league of PCs. I mean, of course PCs can go higher than 120, but to be able to experience 120 on a console of this generation is definitely a positive, especially with a multiplayer game. Now with consoles, of course, we know that it's not going to be locked 120. Let's just be realistic about that, right? There's most likely going to be some type of dips with a whole lot of battle going on, especially like the big team modes, where the maps where you have the tanks and the air vehicles, explosions going off, people dying. Of course there's ragdoll physics, so the physics, like, there's so much going on that there's drops to be expected, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make it to where the drops don't happen below 60. If they don't fall below 60, that keeps the experience in a seamless flow. But at the same time, for those who've never experienced 120 frames, there is kind of a difference between 60 and 120. It's just double of what you're getting at 60, but the fluidness of it is much clearer, and it's definitely a different experience. It's not that much of an experience where I feel like, if you've never experienced 120, that you need to go out and buy it right now, some shit like that. It's nothing like that, but it's definitely a difference that you'll notice. As far as the more details later topic, I don't know what more they can reveal to us besides the multiplayer, besides maybe some more campaign bits. But with them showing us Atriox early on, with them showing us Master Chief's kind of side character to kind of humanize him, or kind of bring some more life into the Halo universe with the main character, they're what people would like to say, they're kind of taken from that Sony template, where they're giving that main character supporting cast that's actually going to carry it as a whole, where it's not just one character bombarding through an entire army of Covenant. Kind of like I want to say a setback to like what Halo 1 and 2 was. in terms of the story. You know, of course, Halo 1, you really had Cortana, you had what was his name, Sergeant Johnson, you had and just some of the other key Marines. I cannot think of their names right now, but you had other characters in Halo and Halo Combat Evolved that kind of carried that Halo story with you, that you kept, you know, running into or hearing from, where you could put a name to a face. And then the same thing kind of applied in Halo 2 when you finally got Arbiter on your team, and like more of that story started to develop along the lines of that. But as far as Halo Infinite going free to play, man, it's kind of like a, you know, let's wait to see what else they have to offer, you know, in the future. And, you know, hopefully it's something positive and something better than what we got at the Xbox showcase, to kind of keep us who do like the Halo series as a whole invested and wanting to continue to buy into their product. Now, the next topic we're talking about is the recent news about the DualShock 4 not working on the PS5 games, but working on the PS5. So there's this whole topic of like Sony being anti-consumer, you know, they don't care about their fans, you know, they're not doing the right thing, doing right by the customer, that type of talk. And it's just like, I get it, but it's kind of like some fake outrage type shit, mostly coming from the Xbox side, of course, because going into the next generation with the Series X, Xbox has made a different SKU of a controller for the Series X, of course, but you can use the Xbox controller with the Xbox Series X, so you don't have to go out and buy a new one. You don't have to worry about, if you do have multiple Xbox One controllers, on going and buying multiple Xbox Series X controllers. Of course, when you look at the Series X controller and the Xbox controller, they're different, but you know, it transfers right over. Now, the DualShock 4 and the DualShock 5, of course, are two different controllers completely. They're coming with a whole slew of new features in the DualShock 5, and of course, with those features, they're going to be implemented into some of these games for the PlayStation 5. Now, when you play PS4 games on the PlayStation 5, you can actually use your DualShock 4 controller, but you can't use that DualShock 4 controller to play any of your PS5 games. Now, again, that develops this whole conversation of being anti-consumer, and I really just feel like it's far-fetched. I, personally, my overall thoughts on the situation as a whole is that PlayStation kind of went the lazy route with it due to the technology that we have nowadays. That's not something that's impossible to make the PlayStation 4 controller work with the PlayStation 5. Now, if the PlayStation 5 game requires you to blow into the controller like they did on the showcase, then of course the PlayStation 4 controller, the DualShock 4, doesn't have that capability, so you would need a DualShock 5. But for the most part, this really only applies if the games on the PS5 actually utilize every feature that comes with the DualShock 5. Because they tried to do the same thing with the DualShock 4 on the PS4, with the touchpad and the built-in speaker. Now, I can count on my hands how many games actually use the built-in speaker for the PlayStation 4. That, like, the two that I know of for sure are Killzone Shadowfall and Ghost of Tsushima. When I was playing Ghost of Tsushima and the wind and the sound and stuff started to come out the fucking speaker, I was like surprised, because I was like, I totally forgot this was even a thing. Because that's how long it's been in terms of games that I played that have actually utilized that function. So if the DualShock 5 actually delivers in the functions being used in the games, then this whole conversation really just is some bullshit, and y'all are just really upset for nothing. That goes for the Xbox crowd and the PC crowd. The PC crowd trying to get in on it to fan the flames and shit they damn self. So it's stupid overall. But the next topic we are talking about is how Spider-Man is going to be exclusive to the Marvel Avengers game on the PS4. Oh boy, the shitstorm that has been going on Twitter about this topic is crazier than the DualShock 4. It just, if anything, it bled from the DualShock 4 right onto the Spider-Man topic. Like, how do you go from that like into this other controversy? And of course, the first thing that people are saying is, oh, it's anti-consumer. Oh, Sony's being selfish. bro, exclusivity drives what consoles are. This is not even up for debate. This isn't even like, this isn't up for debate. That's just what it is. It's not up for debate. So the fact that y'all feel that it's crazy that Sony went out of their way to make Spider-Man an exclusive extra character in Marvel's Avengers for PS4, y'all are ignoring everything that's been going on this generation. Y'all also are ignoring what happened last generation, right? Xbox 360 last generation had Marvel's Ultimate Alliance Gold and Platinum Edition, which included eight different characters that were exclusive only to Xbox that PlayStation never got. But we're gonna skip over that, right? We're gonna nobody remembers that. Nobody cares about that. Nobody was, getting on Microsoft's ass for being, anti-consumer or not thinking about the other people who play in the game and stuff like that. Like, the fact that there's this huge ass uproar, bro, about Spider-Man. Like, Sony has an exclusive Spider-Man game, and y'all are surprised that Spider-Man as a character is exclusive to the Sony platform. Y'all are not thinking. Y'all not using y'all head. Y'all not using your head. Like, I get why you're upset. I get why the Xbox and the PC community is upset about this, but at the same time, why is nobody remembering that these are consoles we're talking about? This is Sony we're talking about. Sony doesn't fully own all of the rights to Spider-Man, but with Sony already having their hand in, both Disney and Marvel's pocket for the Spider-Man exclusive game, why wouldn't they have their hand in their pocket to be like, hey, we want Spider-Man exclusively on our platform for the upcoming Marvel game? What makes y'all think that wasn't going to be a conversation that was going to be had? Right? Like, I really feel like nobody really pays attention to what's going on around them. So when they get this news, the first thing they go to is that, Sony's being anti-consumer. Oh, they don't care. Or they being selfish. They're not pushing the gaming industry forward. Shit like that. And it's like, y'all crazy. Y'all are really crazy. Y'all are really crazy. I personally feel like it's probably going to be a small role if they're able to just throw that tidbit in there to be like, hey, Spider-Man's exclusive. I feel like he's going to play a small role with Kamala Khan being the main character, with her seeming like she's going to be, putting the Avengers back together. Like, I don't feel like Spider-Man is going to play that big of a role in this in the first place. It'll probably be short, instances where it'll be different in the versions that come on the Xbox and PC and the PlayStation 4, including Spider-Man and not including Spider-Man. So, I mean, we're left to see how that goes, but I don't feel like it's going to be that big of a difference overall. In other news, PlayStation announced that it's having its State of Play this Thursday. One of the biggest things they wanted to highlight is that there will be no PS5 announcements. Okay, stop. All right. I don't care no more. I don't care personally, because the PS5 comes out, bro, in 3 months. 3 months. So anything that you're showing, because they're going to highlight PS4 and VR games, anything that you're showing, bro, I don't care to know about, because I'm ready for what you're offering with the next console. Not this console no more. This console means nothing to me, because soon as the PS5 pre-orders go up, I'm putting my money into my PS5. Soon as that, it'd be like a month out or something like that, I'm trading in my PS4. Probably not even a month in. I'll probably go the day of release, but eventually this PS4 is getting traded in. It's getting traded in, going towards the PS5, and I'm going to have a PS5 day one. So, like, I don't care what you have to release on the PS4 no more. Especially because if it's releasing in this time frame, in these next couple months, of course it's going to somehow, some way make its way to the PS5, whether digitally or backwards compatibility somehow. I know they said they're only doing 100 games by popularity and shit like that, but these games that are coming out recently, there's no way in hell these devs are like, nah, we're not going to make it for the PS5. I don't have any VR. I don't care for VR right now. So that's definitely a no-brainer for me. and then they're trying to re-showcase the games that they showcased in June from the indie devs. And there's very few indie games that I even play in the first place. So this state of play to me is kind of a non-factor. I may look at it, you know, just to see if there's anything interesting that I may have looked over or forgot about, you know, that's supposed to be coming up. Or maybe it's one of those sleeper indie hits. Like, I know that there was that one swordsman game that's technically made by an indie developer. Like, I think it's like a 2-man team, 1-man team. So that may show up, right? But other than that, man, this state of play is really gonna be a snore fest. So I'm probably just, like I said, I'm just check in with it and see if they say anything crazy, and then go back to playing something else. But overall, man, those are my thoughts on everything that's going on this week, everything that's been happening, all the outrage and everything that's been going on. It kind of helps explain what some things that I did say on Twitter involving like the DualShock 4 situation and the Spider-Man situation. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you really like my content. I appreciate all the support, man. And, you know, hit me up on Twitter if you ever need me, or to just talk some shit about what's going on in this gaming space, man. It's Tay, man. Peace.